crowd. It's going to be loud. Will they have the cowbells out there? How will the Kings respond? Will they try to hit the Warriors in the mouth? Will they be a little nervous to start? Will the short jumpers be short? Very eager, because I think the Warriors can set a tone in the first quarter.
You know, Draymond Green was actually talking on his podcast about the crowd for Sacramento and how wild and crazy it's going to be. And he was basically saying that, like, yeah, you know, we understand that this is going to be absolutely bonkers. And it was bonkers during the regular season, but it'll be cranked up that much more because of the playoff drought. And it was interesting. He was just kind of like talking about all the different spots where they've played where it was a similar raucous environment. Not that Golden One isn't going to be wild and off the hook for them, but like they did do this in Boston. Was crazy. I mean, you and I were there. It was insane, and that was the finals. They've done this with Oklahoma City. This team has had some interest. Memphis, remember Game 1 and Game 2 in Memphis last year? It was insane.
And the Warriors stole Game 1 in Memphis.
I know. So I do think this will be different. But he was basically saying that like a lot of their guys are more accustomed to it. It'll be interesting to see the home team try to adjust to the crowd because you're so amped up.
He also talked about the learning curve and the learning curve for players who have not defended a championship before. And he brought up Kuminga as an example. We're going to get Andrew Wiggins. We got a lot of Andrew Wiggins out because Looney, Curry, Kerr, Bob Myers, they spoke highly of Andrew Wiggins. But Draymond on the learning curve when defending championship.
Learning how to defend a championship while growing into different roles. Like, for instance, I'll use Jonathan Kuminga as an example. Jonathan Kuminga is defending his first championship. Jonathan Kuminga is also growing as a player and as an individual, as a young man, learning how to play a role in the NBA, learning the things that you need to do, getting consistent minutes, whereas he didn't play consistent minutes last year. And so there's a learning curve that comes with that. And I think, you've seen us be a product of that learning curve. By no means am I saying our season is Jonathan Kuminga's fault. I hope no one takes that way. But there's a learning curve that comes with learning how to defend a championship. And we've experienced that a bit.
And he also talked about this has been the hardest title defense because it's new for so many guys.
100% been the hardest title defense. Quite frankly, I think it's warranted in several ways. When you get to a space of like where we are, where we've won now 4 championships, that gap between you and other guys, it continues to grow and grow. Well, with that gap growing is also the experience or lack thereof. And I think for us, where we've done this now, like you said, 4 times, for the vast majority of our group, this is the first time.
And it was interesting. Draymond Green on the show took calls. He took calls. Draymond's gotten really better.
2 calls.
His pacing and cadence has gotten really better on the Draymond Green show. Really good. Hey, I wonder if he needs a co-host.
The first one felt very. Well, he does have one, but it's like his producer.
Yeah, it's his producer. Yeah.
The first call I thought was like someone planting in a like fake call.
Right.
The second one felt more like a real call.
Yeah,
hey, Draymond, go back to your rookie year and tell me how you grew from it. And he was like, yeah, I didn't really play much my rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have threw the number out, how many calls would he have gotten? How many voicemails would he have gotten on that call? That would have been very, very interesting.
But the thing on Kuminga is an interesting fact, interesting point, and I agree with him on that. Could the same also be said for Jordan Poole?
Yes, Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody.
Yes.
Gary Payton II. Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, Gary Payton II. You're right about Gary Payton II. Andrew Wiggins, you're right. You're 100% correct. Man, this is so... The Andrew Wiggins thing, I was just writing down all of the different angles on Andrew Wiggins. Where's his conditioning? Who's he going to guard? How long is he going to play? What does his minutes mean to Dante DiVincenzo and GP2? What does his defensive assignment mean at the beginning of the series, and how does it evolve as the games go on? What are realistic expectations from him offensively? Where does he fit in? Do they try to get him the ball in the mid block? There's so many questions I have on Andrew Wiggins.
Well, here's what Bob Myers said on the executive show with Steiny and Guru yesterday about Andrew Wiggins and whether or not he'll be ready to go for game number 1.
all indications are he'll be ready to go, but how many minutes, I don't know. How he'll be used, that's up to Steve and the staff. I'm just thrilled that he's back and that he's going to give us something. I don't know what Steve will decide as far as who starts, if he comes off the bench. I mean, remember when Curry did that? If you can bring Curry off the bench, you can bring anybody off the bench, but I don't know if Steve will decide to start him or bring him off the bench. The beauty of a guy like that is he helps you immediately just defensively, and then offensively, we'll see what he's got as far as rhythm goes, but he knows what we do, and I can't sit here and say, because we don't know, Goo, whether it's going to be 30 minutes, 20 minutes,
right.
25. I can't say that. The good news is all indications are he's going to play. And then I think it'll build from there. And it's good that he's coming back at the start of the playoffs rather than any time later. So we're excited.
The fact that Bob Myers called him Goo, that's awesome.
Hey, of course.
But I just
Did
love
he call
Bob.
you Butch?
Yeah, but that's why I love Bob. Like, he actually listens to our shows and knows the little names and into nuances. That was great.
How much do you think Bob listens to this show now? He's not waking up listening to our.
Would you tell Bob personally that I said hi?
No, I will not. This segment is sponsored by Golden State,
You know,
the Bay
Goo.
Area.
You know, Goo.
For
Gosh, good for Goo.
generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Why does that shock you?
Well, no, I just
Bob is like that.
I think
Bob
one
is
day,
like that.
look, you were talking about like when we get to the end of the road, Boys to Men, of this
Right.
Warriors run that they're on. We're going to look back on Bob Myers, and I'm not sure we're going to fully appreciate the person that he is. He's like a life coach at times. Like, the things that come out of his mouth when I'm listening to him, either at a podium, when I listen to him on this station, I don't know, man. I just have a tremendous amount of respect for the person.
Yeah, no.
I just think he's a
great
good dude.
No, he is a good dude.
And like, don't you want to root for good people?
Yeah, of course.
Like, just in life, right?
We root for villains sometimes.
No doubt. There's trust me. There's a time and a place. I mean, somebody can say I'm the villain, but like, there's a time and a place.
You might be public enemy number one now in Sacramento.
I mean,
I thought I was.
I love how
and
everything gets taken out of
happened.
context.
And then 9:30 happened.
You know, I'm doing like a WWE promo and
started talking about why people were moving out the Bay Area.
it's just a wild joke, tongue in cheek. I got my fill in yesterday. Today I'm moving on.
Well, Sacramento.
But, like,
well, you're not public enemy number one, which is good. I could
till
actually
the game
go to
starts,
Sacramento.
and then it's Draymond.
Oh, then it's Draymond Green.
I do have a great Draymond question. We don't have to answer it right now, but I'm just going to pose this at you. I want your opinion on it because I kind of want to see you smile. Who's the most likely to get under Draymond Green's skin? The refs, a player on the Kings, or the crowd?
All of the above.
Or his own teammates?
All of the above. All of the above. All of the above. Draymond's going to be. I can't wait for Draymond Green. He knows what time it is, man.
He said he's podcasting no matter what after Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah. Well, that's fine.
No,
we'll be
I know.
all tapped in.
He's like, after the game, I've got a podcast, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
he'll be ready to go.
I'll make sure that hits my download feed.
Hey, he'll be in the hotel room in Sacramento because they're going to stay up there because our first round the schedule was released. I'll pull that up in just a second after the legal as you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMG FM and HG1 San Francisco. And always free, always live, and always free on the Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. And shout out to Biko. Brittany Cohen out there in Cincinnati. Used to work with the Golden State Warriors. That's how I met her. She's a big-time Raider fan, but she helps produce the Draymond Green Show. She works for Value Sports, and she just texted me and said, I love it when you guys play our stuff from Value, including the Draymond Green Show. So shout out to Biko. A new mom.
Oh, congratulations.
Baby girl, I think, is not even 1 year old yet. So she's producing podcasts, raising a child. Good for her.
Congratulations. It's very well done, the Draymond pod. And the fact that it's only like, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes. It's like the perfect. Yeah, it's the perfect amount of time. I really do enjoy it. And I truly believe, and I told you this because I've listened to every episode, he has grown so much as a broadcaster from the first couple to where he is now. It's an excellent listen.
No, it is a really good listen. I think he's going to have a really good series against the Sacramento Kings. I truly do. By the way, game one, of course, Saturday, 5:30.
Yeah.
So plan accordingly, folks. Monday night, game number 2. Monday night, game 2, 7 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. Game number 3, Thursday at Chase Center. That is actually 420 as well. Thursday, 420, Kings, Warriors,
that
Chase
means
Center.
Tyler Miller will be there with a full pack.
Oh, dude, there's going to be nothing but clouds in the Gatehouse or Tri-City.
I think my boy Joycey's got to hook up with Tyler Miller, and they're going to have some sort of a smoke-off.
Let them work that one out, man. That's going to be a long
Joycey's
night.
still smoking the backwoods, bro. We're getting up there in age, dude. You're not going to have lungs soon.
Well, I mean, there's going to be nothing but clouds on the Warriors post-game set after that game. All right, Game 3 Thursday at Chase Center, 7 p.m. Then Sunday. This is the marquee matchup. Sunday, 12:30 game at Chase Center, going to be on national TV. And yes, Raymond Ritter, A65 battery for us. A65 battery. Yes, sir. I'll text you in just a second. Game number 4. Game number 4 Sunday, 12:30. And then Game 5. If there's a Game 5, it'll be Wednesday up in Sacramento. If there's a Game 6, it'll be Friday at Chase Center. And then Game 7 would be Sunday in Sacramento. But Games 3, Thursday. Games 4, Sunday. Game 2, Monday. So
there's a lot of time in between some of these games.
The 12:30 games, I know a lot of people like them. I hate the 12:30 games.
Why don't you like them?
They're just so early. They're early, dude. You get up, you go to the stadium. It's still super sunny. You haven't had breakfast yet. You're on the set at 11:30. You get there, it's super. I don't know. I've never been a fan of 12:30 games.
Just let's put yourself in a Kings fan position. Like, I remember the feeling of we never get the Sunday 12:30 game. Remember that? Like, that was the game that I grew up watching on NBC.
They love it.
Of course, and they should love it. Like, that's unique for them. They're going to be the standalone game. It's going to be perfect time on the East Coast. Like, I get where you're coming from. Back to the Draymond thing for a second. You want to talk about things on the internet like taking off and being taken out of context? When you listen to the entire podcast and you hear some of they're not even predictions. He's like, people are asking him, who do you think's going to win and why and blah, 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 blah. And he's giving educated guesses because that's what he does. It turns into a hot take because we take this clip and we play this clip. And I'm sure you have the clip about him talking about the Lakers and him, beating and the Warriors beating the Kings. But if you listen to the full thing, right, not just the video that made the rounds, he's basically saying, like, hey, I could easily be wrong. Here's why I like the Lakers. Right. I think Minnesota does present some or not Minnesota, but Memphis presents some problems to the Lakers. Here's why I think we should beat the Kings. Like, he explains everything, but what's the part that takes off on the internet?
It's the bulletin board material.
Exactly. And he even said it. I'm probably giving them bulletin board material. But at this point, if you need bulletin board material, then that's on you.
Well, if you accentuate if you really break it down and listen to his podcast, it kind of accentuates your point of what you're watching, right? When you're watching a game, you think, okay, this guy's getting downhill. That's a matchup problem.
Yes.
When you think about Grizzlies and Lakers, okay, Jerry Jackson Jr. is going to be the trail 3.
How good was that?
And then, but when Draymond Green breaks it down, you're like, oh, yeah, this accentuates my point. It's exactly what I'm watching. That's what I'm seeing here.
And AD sagging in transition.
When he was breaking down Heat and Hawks, and people are going to see the 4 points. Capella said, oh, he didn't have a great game. Look at the rebounding. Yeah. Look at the way he dove to the basket. Yep. Look at the spacing was created by Miami switching all the time on defense. But here's what Draymond Green had to say about that Lakers. He flat out said it. I believe we'll be playing the Lakers in the second round. Like, Sacramento's going to be playing this on the loop. But here's Draymond Green on the Draymond Green podcast.
This is a tough matchup for Memphis. I expect LeBron to get the tempo of the game where he think they should have the tempo and not just try to get up and down with that young Memphis team. I can't foresee them doing that. AD and Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson will be able to pull AD from the rim. AD doesn't really like to guard the three-point shooter, so I think something to watch there is Jaren Jackson trailing into the 3. On the flip side, Ja Morant loves to get to the paint. You got a shot blocker like AD at the rim. You got Jared Vanderbilt mucking stuff up. LeBron's mucking stuff up. The Lakers is absolutely great at guarding the paint with the length that they have on their team. I probably should be careful with giving someone some bulletin board material because this will be our next opponent when we go take care of our business. But if you need bulletin board material at this point, then so be it. But I think the Lakers will take this series. I think it'll be an upset. Won't be easy. Will not be easy.
Will not be easy. And he's right. If you need bulletin board material at this point of the season, you should be motivated. But the Kings will use that to their advantage. But Draymond Green, the way he talks and speaks the game, he's so smart.
It's so good.
I think that's what gets lost about everything. And I get the podcasting. I get what happened at training camp. I get all the stuff that comes with Draymond Green. But on the floor, what gets missed daily is how smart of a basketball player he is. I mean, he could navigate the game with his mind and score 4 points.
But Bonta, he gives you Macho Man Randy Savage, and then he gives you, thoughtful, Pulitzer Prize winner. You know what I mean?
That's
like when
what
it
I'm
comes
saying,
to basketball,
yeah.
like he gives you both of them. That's why do you think I love Tupac? He'll give you Brenda's Got a Baby, and he'll give him, you hit him up. And so that's what makes Draymond Green so polarizing and so lovable. The guy's the best, dude.
No, he is the best. He thinks the game so well. So now he's already gotten to the heads. And listen, you'll find a kick out of this. You get a kick out of this. Mike Brown said that Harrison Barnes, Matthew Dellavedova, and Leandro Barbosa all shared their championship experiences during their team dinner a couple nights ago when they were breaking down this series. They had a team dinner, and it was Barnes, Dellavedova, and Barbosa sharing their championship experience for the Kings. Now, a lot of people are going to laugh at that, but I'm not mad at Mike Brown for going there. And people forget that Harrison Barnes was a champion. How motivated will he be? Not just to get the Kings past the first round, but to play against his former team, the team that selected him number 7 overall, right? 7 overall in the 2012 NBA draft, and basically said, we'll let you walk. We'll give you the $64 million.
Yeah.
He said no. Then all eyes were shifted out of Kevin Durant.
I don't think anybody has quote unquote ill will toward Harrison Barnes. We're frustrated he didn't play better in those finals. Like I think he would even admit that. I was watching, and I'm not watching all 82 Kings games. I'll admit that. But the parts that I'm watching, I'm going through. He's just standing on the perimeter as basically a corner 3 chucker. Like that's what he's doing on the outside. And I'm saying to myself, I had such high hopes for him coming out. I really thought he was going to be not all-star every year and like that, but I thought he could have a couple all-stars in him.
28-7 or something like that, or
I thought he'd be at 20+ a night score, no doubt about it.
Especially after that first playoff run, right?
Yes,
he was giving it to the Spurs.
Yes,
he was giving it to.
And he was a
Manu
really
Ginobili.
versatile defender. I think we've underrated how great his defense was early in his career, and so I still think he's a really good post defender. Actually, I think he's really strong. But offensively, I thought there was more to his game.
I wonder who he's going to defend in this series. Are they going to just
let
him play Looney?
Does he guard Wiggins?
That's very interesting.
Does he guard Wiggins? Do they put him on Draymond Green and sag off, and he's kind of like the help defender? Is it Sabonis who's sagging off of Draymond Green, and he's the help defender? I don't have the answer for that.